Hello and welcome back to the 10-Step Mix. I'm Al from musicguypodcast.com and we're working on my song called Waiting on the Right Time, which is available on Spotify if you want to go check it out. We are on step 9 of 10. We are getting real close here. We just finished working on all our individual elements here and we're ready to get to the backup vocals. So we've got a bunch of backup tracks here. Let's start with one of the individual ones here, which is in the verse. This is sung by Will, who also played guitar, Will Hebbs of The Agenda. And the best place to start, honestly, we've already done all this work in developing our settings for our lead vocal. Let's just copy them right over. So we're going to hold Alt and click and drag over to Will's track here. And we'll just have to make a few fine adjustments, but should be pretty darn close. And we can copy the sends as well. I don't copy the spread. I don't use the spread effect on backup vocals just because I don't want them to sound quite as big and voluminous as the lead vocals. So I'm just going to copy our vocal verb and delay over. Say yes to the automation. And let's jump to his vocal part, which is in the second verse here. Let's have a listen to it.
Didn't miss your sign.
Very expertly sung by Will. Let's just make sure we're hitting our compressor. We know we want about 3 dB here.
Didn't miss your sign.
Cool. We know we want about 12 to 24 here.
Didn't miss your sign.
All right, great. And we know we want about 3 to 6 on our RVox.
Didn't miss your.
Perfect. All right. And the S's, just make sure we're not getting crazy with the S's.
Didn't miss your sign.
Bring those down a little bit more.
Didn't miss your sign.
Cool. All right. And then we'll blend it in with the lead.
Didn't miss your sign.
Perfect. Sounds great. We can add a little bit extra reverb for him maybe, so we'll bring this up to 0.
Didn't miss your sign.
Oh, let's bring brought back down. So we've got a little bit of automation there, so we're going to flip over to the edit window and check out our Vox. We'll do this drop down here. Check out our Vox verb level, because we did automate it for the lead vocal, so we'll get rid of that for this backup vocal, and that will allow us to mix this freely. Let's bring this back up to 0, and let's see.
Didn't miss your sign.
There you go. The little extra reverb makes it sound a little bit further back in the mix. And then we've got a vocal part from Mark, our bass player on this track, the legendary Mark Rinkin from The Agenda. So let's copy the settings right over, because why not? And yes, we will do the automation. That's okay. And let's find his part. It's over here in the bridge. Again, we're just going to make sure that we're hitting our compressors.
I'm lost, I can't keep up.
So we need a little bit more threshold here to hit this compressor.
I'm lost, I can't keep up.
And
I'm lost.
it's looking good.
I'm lost.
Looking good. Okay, great. Excellent. So we'll blend that in.
I'm lost, I can't keep up.
0 seems to work pretty good there. Okay, great. And then we've got our chorus vocals, which are sung by Will and Mark as well. These are stereo pairs of vocals. So again, we just copy our settings right over. I'll copy Will's to Will's and Mark's to Mark's. And same thing with our reverb. All these plugins. Again, I'm just saving so much time here rather than calling up each one individually and doing the settings all over again. There's only a couple of tweaks we really have to make. So it's way easier to just copy things over. Let's check out the chorus where these two lovely fellas are singing with me.
Holding on to hope, tied a rope round a piece of my heart.
Just make sure we're hitting that first compressor.
Holding on to hope, tied a rope round a piece of my heart.
Perfect. And we're in business. All right. And so lastly, we have the ooh sort of backup vocals. And these are all sort of a group of vocals singing together. So if I solo these up, rather than processing them one at a time, we can process them all at once through an aux channel. So we'll send them all to a new track. I'm going to shift and click to select them all. Hold shift and alt. Go to their output, which was mix bus. I'm going to make it a new track. I'm going to call this track Ooze. And I'll move it over. And now this track that all these oohs are sending to needs to be sent to our mix bus. So I'll make sure that's happening. And let's hear them now. So now they're just all being fed into this one track. Again, I can just fly over all these plugin settings. I don't need the De-Essers because they're not saying anything with an S in it. Probably don't need the Lo-Fi either, but we'll have it just in case. And the reverb and the delays. All right. Sounding pretty good. So I think for these, we just want to add a ton of top end, a lot of air. Look at that nice airy effect. Probably back off the compression a little bit since there's not really any dynamic range in this. We're just compressing for tone. Cool. And then we can work on the balance internally here. So this super high ooh, it's probably a little too loud, so bring that down. Make it blend with the main ooh. Sounds good. This lower one's a bit hot as well, so bring that down. It's a bit better. Alrighty, cool. So those are our oohs. They're still a little bit tubby in the low end, so I think I can sort of pull that out from the SSL channel here. We can kind of go fishing the same way we did with the regular EQ. If I just boost this and start moving around this frequency selector here. Sort of see the biggest bulkiness at 350 here, so I'll cut that. So without that EQ, they're pretty dark and tubby, stuffy. So cut some of that low. Cool. All right. And let's add these into the mix. We'll take another listen and sort of get these backup vocals somewhat balanced here. Here we go.
I tell you now, I'm done waiting on the right time. Waiting on the right time. I'm done waiting on the right time. I'm done holding on the hope, tied a rope around a piece of my heart, and I can't let go. I'm done waiting on the right time. Waiting on the right time.
Maybe add even more reverb, I think, for these ones.
I tell you now, I'm done waiting on the right time.
All right. So those are our backup vocals. So now we just will come back with automation at the end and maybe another listen through just to make sure that everything is the way we want it. So we will see you for step 10 in the next video.